Welcome back to Sustainability in the Sea. Thanks for joining me in my beanbag. For those of you actually watching, you might notice we have a new set. And by set, I mean corner of my house that I have chosen to film this podcast in. This set was chosen by our longtime assistant at FutureSwell, Riley Cabrera, because she loves this beanbag more than life itself. I don't know. Let me know what you think of it. Might be filming some more podcast episodes here. This beanbag's amazing. Okay. Welcome back to Sustainability in the Sea. Happy 2026, everybody. I just wanted to chat, just me and you today, about a little bit of things I've been having, conversations about some really big topics I've been having with my audience on TikTok, and then also over direct messages around the connection between ocean conservation advocacy and the connection between those missions and social media. So just to preface this episode is for someone who has interest or curiosity about being an ocean content creator, or interest and curiosity about not being just a marine biologist or conservationist and stepping into more of that movement building, organizing, leadership, advocacy role. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I am so happy that it's 2026. I needed a fresh start, honestly. And I'm just happy to be back on this show, which I'm going to try my darndest to continue to prioritize for all of you. I love sitting and having long chats. And yeah, if you have ideas for things you want us to talk about in 2026, please use the comment feature. And, let's get into it. Welcome back to Sustainability in the Sea. Do you see my jacket, guys? It says Arizona Wildcats. I went to the University of Arizona. Yeah. Landlocked marine biologist over here. Really made it out of the trenches to end up where I am now. Just know you can do it too. Doesn't matter if you were raised landlocked. You can dedicate your life to the ocean. Okay. There's two parts to this episode. The first is answering the questions of why do ocean conservationists and marine biologists need to step into the role of advocates. Now, let's just do some basic definitions. Advocacy is the act of calling for, in support, or against something policy-wise, right? It's really stepping into the policy world. So you can advocate against offshore drilling. You can advocate against deep sea mining. You can advocate for protections for endangered species, like advocating to continue to have the Marine Mammal Protection Act be staple legislation. And at least from my era, this was not something that was welcomed in the marine biology education environment that I grew up in. We did not have policy, government, or advocacy classes in my major. I majored in ecology and environmental biology, or ecology and evolutionary biology, and minored in marine science. And I think I took one policy class in my master's degree, which was I chose, it wasn't required. I just wanted to take it and contributed, but not everyone had to take it. And so this skill set is not accessible to marine biologists. You can probably get a marine science degree in 2026 and graduate not knowing nothing about policy or advocacy. And I have a bone to pick with that, because I have a fundamental belief that everyone should at least have the foundational knowledge to participate if they want to. Instead, I was literally 25 and having to learn the difference between a rep and a senator on Google because I was never taught it, or I definitely wasn't taught it in my focal area because I had a STEM degree. And I think that these silos or niches of what a marine science is, putting us into a box like that, isn't serving our movement anymore. And you have this incredible opportunity, whether you're early career or transitioning into the career, or simply mid-career like me, to say, I'm not buying into those stereotypes of what a marine biologist is and what a marine biologist isn't. I have always been low-key an activist. I was fighting my best friends on climate change in high school. Shout out, Jerry. I'm so sorry. I love you. We're still best friends to this day. But, it was always something that was part of my identity and that I was called to. And if you're like fiery like that and passionate like that, don't let the institution of STEM or marine science tell you that you can't go there. That's like number one. And I think that for folks that don't, or listeners that just don't automatically feel tied to advocacy or connected to activism in that way, but they understand that it's clearly a responsibility now in this day and age and in the US, I just want you to know that that's why FutureSwell exists, is to make it easier for you to participate, to make it quick and simple to submit a public comment, to sign a meaningful petition, to be a bridge to a larger movement that's advocating to the larger nonprofits. And we're not here to gatekeep who gets to be an advocate. Every single person is an advocate. They just don't know it yet. I fundamentally believe that. And you just need a topic or an issue or threat to impact something you deeply love, and then you're an advocate. Someone was going to come for our backyard surf break, the surf break we go to. If that was about to be developed into an offshore oil rig, my neighborhood would be up in arms. And I think that that's, maybe you just haven't found that yet. And I think that's like the secret sauce that maybe people are like, no, that's not me. And it's like, it's not you yet. But if we've learned anything under this administration and under the volatility around climate solutions and, how the administration is dealing with environmental protections and stripping back all of these serious benchmark policies we've had for decades, like, we have to be advocates. And before I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm saying, like, I just want you to know that I didn't think I was going to be doing this for my career. And I don't necessarily think it's fair that we have to become advocates. I don't think it's what we asked for. I don't think it's what we signed up for when we said we wanted to be marine biologists, when we went into college and chose a STEM major or an environmental studies major or a resource management major because we wanted to protect nature. That's when we chose that. We chose it because we loved that thing, because we wanted to expand knowledge, because we wanted to study it, because we wanted to protect it. We didn't know that there was going to be a calling by society years later that required mass mobilization to defend nature and to protect nature. And I just want you to know, I didn't know that either. I didn't expect that either. And I don't think that I just want you to hear from me, like, this was never in the cards or in the plan for me. It's the reality that now we have had to accept and then step into this role. And I'm calling on you guys to, like, have the courage to step into that role too, because it is uncomfortable and it is new material and it is something we never took classes in and no one taught us about. But once you learn it, you have that skill set forever and you get to give it away and teach other people that. And I think that whether you're starting your advocacy journey in 2026 or you've kind of always been an activist and signed petitions and been really passionate, and you want to learn how to make a bigger impact collectively through coalitions and mobilizations, there is like no better time to start than right now. Oh, Riley's backing us up here. Riley's so lucky. Sometimes I think about how she doesn't know what a Trump administration even is. She can't conceptualize it. Anyway, but like, for example, and I'll wrap this up in a sec, but just when I was a grad student, it was the first Trump administration and he was trying to roll back something horrible. I think it was the Endangered Species Act. I don't want to misspeak. I was pissed, enraged, graduate student, taking out all these loans to get advanced degree. He's defunding NOAA. I was like, is our job okay? My graduate practicum got dissolved from NOAA and I had to go find a different project for my master's degree. And I was like enraged and motivated. And I remember like my mentors or my professors were like, oh yeah, we don't really touch it. We just do research. We don't really touch that. We shouldn't be partisan. What? obviously nature in the ocean shouldn't be partisan, but it is. So what are we going to do? Are we going to sit by and stand on the sidelines while the very thing that inspired connection to the earth in the first place is at stake, and the only people with the voices and the knowledge to speak up against it effectively using sound science and research are the ones that have dedicated their schooling and training to it? Anyway, so if that resonates for you, I'm here. Make sure you follow our account so you can find campaigns and easy ways to mobilize and activate. We have facilitated so many beautiful relationships in this past year since we moved into national organizing work. And if I can guarantee anything, it's that there will be more ways to protect planet ocean for you guys. And all you have to do is be watching and willing to take action, and we will do the rest for you. Okay. I love you guys. It's not fun. We didn't ask for it. It's not fair, but it is our responsibility. The second part of this is I am literally begging you guys to become ocean content creators. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to be an environmental influencer. I'm just going to step back, clarify that for a second. So, and I'm going to tell you guys this through the lens of my personal story. I was a marine scientist. I was in graduate school while the first wave of big influencers was taking over social media, and social media became this thing that was no longer something you shared with friends and family, but was something that you became an extension of some type of brand, right? For me, in that era, I was really attracted to obviously the travelers, the surfers, the outdoorsy girls. And at the time, there were 3 marine biology influencers that fundamentally shaped me. And I remember feeling so, first of all, they were digital mentors, right? You're so looking up to these people. And I also remember thinking, wow, they have so much influence over how people see the ocean, and so much influence about how conservation issues are viewed through the people that follow and trust them. And I remember feeling we need more people like that. And then I went to grad school, and I focused on all of that. That's obviously very intense. I know we have a lot of listeners in grad school. And I still kept that in the back of my head. And I watched as, more environmental activists took up more space on social media. And Riley, stop, relax. And as environmental activists took up more space on social media, there were opportunities where these leaders and influencers got to ask their audiences to do something. It was organic at the time. It wasn't coordinated. It was please sign this petition. We need to stop this pipeline. This is a social justice and environmental racism issue in my community. Please help me, And I didn't know at the time that this was called organizing. I was a researcher. I thought I was going to study whales. I thought I was going to research their threats. And then at the time, and I mean, listeners might think this too, but this is what I thought. I thought I was going to do research on dolphins and whales and their threats, whether it be disease or marine debris entanglement or ship strikes. And then I would write up that research, which is objective and scientific and sound. And I would give that research to decision makers and policymakers. And then obviously those decision and policymakers who were provided this new information about the issue would then take action to mitigate the threat so that dolphins and whales in the ocean could be safer. That's what I thought. And a missing piece of that story was that decision makers and policymakers don't take action based off of facts and expertise. They take action based off of public pressure, at least in the US. And I just started thinking, what does public pressure look like in the age of social media? And, we started FutureSwell. I always knew this is where I wanted to go. And now in 2026, we're here. And this is where I'm just going to give you guys a little insight on what our projects and works have been like as I beg you to be an ocean influencer. So I've been having some conversations with coalition members in our FutureSwell Ocean Creator Coalition, and they're like, why are all of these people who don't have expertise, why do they get such a big platform to talk about the ocean? Like, for example, in the ocean space online, we have a lot of divers. We have a lot of people who take their camera underwater and show you the underwater ocean. We have a lot of shellers. We have a lot of adventure travel, ocean-inspired travel influencers. And we don't have a lot of marine scientists, indigenous voices, people who are practitioners in their community, people who are organizers. We don't have a lot of those. And I am finding myself like I can work with a diver who doesn't have the technical expertise and support them with, you know, talking points and the narrative. But I don't know if they'll understand the issue to the same degree as someone who dedicated a huge chunk of their work and professional career to this. And I think there's a place for full-time influencers, but that's not what we're doing at FutureSwell. We ultimately want to make sure that there is warranted authoritative voices talking on these issues. Lived experience, professional experience, educational experience, a lifetime mission to protecting our ocean in a meaningful way. Not to exploring our ocean, not to sharing our ocean, while those can be elements of it, a lifetime dedication to protecting our ocean. And I have a shortage. I have a shortage of these people. I am looking for people who are doing this. I'm looking for people who have even small platforms, 10,000, 5,000, 20,000, small platforms that have those elements. They are trusted. They are experienced. They are willing to advocate. And I'm asking you to please, God, message me if you are this person. If you know someone, if you follow people, I know you guys follow people because if you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to ocean content on your phone. So I know you know the people that I need to be connected with, and I need your recommendations. I need your help. I need the future swellies to tell me what creators I need to engage with. And the reason I'm literally begging you to become an ocean content creator is because FutureSwell is showing and proving this model that those people are more valuable in the ocean climate movement than the people with big followings who have less expertise. We are proving this model. We didn't know we were going to prove it. We just decided to track the data. We are now proving this model. So yes, you, the more experienced person with education, lived experience, background, deep connection, indigenous connection, place-based knowledge, those spokespeople for the ocean are more valuable when it comes to asking people to take action for the ocean when they ask someone versus when the person who talks about ocean travel asks someone. Those people are more valuable. Okay? So don't be worried about followers right now because the $100,000 ocean or the 100,000 follower ocean traveler, their audience isn't taking action on advocacy to the same degree that someone who's dedicated their lives to marine science and is sharing their story and they ask their audience to do it is. So this is a hypothesis that we were testing that is being increasingly supported. Well, now that we've been supporting that hypothesis, everybody wants to work with us on this to access this network of trusted, authoritative ocean creators who have dedicated their life to it, who are willing to advocate, and who understand the nuance of the issues. And I don't have enough of them. I've got 40 to 50 amazing people, but I don't have enough, not based off the interest. And I know that everyone under a certain age in the ocean conservation world knows that science communication matters, and they just want, a pathway to be resourced to be able to be science communicators. And I want to give that pathway to people, and I have the resources to give that pathway to people. I just need to know who you are, and I need help. So This is my dissertation to turn you into an ocean content creator. Because if you do want to tell your story, if you do want to be a face of this movement digitally online, I have campaigns for you to be part of alongside us that fund you to be an advocate to protect our ocean. Okay, please reach out to me if you want to be an ocean creator. If you're already an ocean creator, hit me up because I want you to be part of our network. And if you know ocean creators or your friends are ocean creators, please connect us, because this is not, we're not coming to play. We're organizing, and then we're mobilizing, and then we are coming for this administration, and we are preventing ocean damage nationally, internationally. And you guys, I'm just going to speak into existence because you deserve to know my vision. Yeah, we're advocating nationally. I want a FutureSwell creator network that spans the world. That's my goal. That's my goal. I want a global community of creators to talk about issues that impact their region, their country, their specific neighborhood, and then all of the big ocean players that are working on international, national, or local issues can come to us and say, we need the world to know about this issue. And I'll say, I've got the spokespeople to tell the world about that issue. And then we're going to build a world of ocean conservationists that don't just love the ocean for the fish that they've seen, but love the ocean and know how to practice that love for the ocean. There's a lot ahead of us. But I love you guys, and I welcome feedback and mentors and peer mentors and creators. And yeah, it feels good to tell you guys the vision. Riley doesn't get the vision because she doesn't live in a world where she knows what social media is. Sometimes I'm envious of her, but here we are. We're using the tools we have. We didn't ask for it, but here we are. All right. I love you guys. Happy New Year. Thanks for listening to Sustainability in the Sea.